So I came across this post right here from some people that I follow on Instagram because that's where I saw that. And it's crazy to believe that this actually may be a thing. Now, I'm not saying that if it is or if it isn't, but let's be real here. The 2020 has been a very strange, eye-opening year. And ironically, 2020 vision, it's basically when you're supposed to have the perfect vision. And this was one eye-opening year to say the least. And in some cases to say the most, but I would definitely say the least. So you see the caption right here says unemployment aid for almost 14 million Americans will expire the day after Christmas. Talk about one heck of a Christmas present that you don't want, that you wish you could return to the store. Now I'm going to go ahead and read this excerpt from the actual page itself. Almost 14 million Americans are receiving unemployment assistance from the pandemic programs like the Emergency CARES Act. According to the Labor Department, those benefits will expire the day after Christmas. The national average for weekly benefits was $317 in October. After the benefits expire, many Americans will struggle with paying for food and rent. I don't know if y'all have seen those images or those videos. I know Lisa has been talking about it frequently as of recent on her channel about those food lines down there in Texas. I mean, I have never seen anything quite like that before, but it really looks like the 2020 version of the Great Depression of the late 1920s and early 1930s, where people had to stand in line and get food. Like you would have thought that was the line to get into Disney World, the way that them lines looked. I mean, them lines were stretched out of the parking lot or wherever they had those food trucks at, backing up traffic for miles just to get food. And now you take that and add it with this, it's a wrap. I had said this is looking real purge-ish like each and every day. I hope people are ready. That's all I'm going to say. The virus cases continue to rise and many cities face a second lockdown, leaving many without a chance to go back to work. According to Reuters, 9.1 million people are enrolled in Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, or PUA. Many are freelancers and self-employed. 4.5 million people receive benefits under the Pandemic Emergency Unemployment Compensation, or the PEUC, which allows people to collect funds 13 weeks after they have run out of state benefits. That's why when it comes to something like this, I get mad at those scammers who are able to work and take advantage of the system that's in place against people that cannot work. Like that video I just recently did about that lady out of New York who was a jail staffer, and she was collecting benefits since last year, even before the virus was a thing, and then collected even more after it was a thing. Both programs will expire the day after Christmas. Congress has not agreed on a second round of stimulus checks for the country. 17 states and the District of Columbia will extend benefits until the end of December, according to Century Foundation. Those states are Alaska, California, Connecticut, Georgia, Hawaii, Illinois, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Nevada, New Jersey, New Mexico, New York, North Carolina, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and Washington. That's wild. That's crazy. There's nothing really much I can say to this because that's something that's just, of course, way above my pay grade and way out of my control. But this is what happens when you have people that mismanage this entire situation. And I know people say, oh, it's 45 and everything like that. Yes, Trump played a part, but there were definitely some other supporting players that went along with this other than just him. But because he was the president, everything's getting really dumped on him. But trust and believe, it was more than just him. It was no way he could have just mismanaged this thing by himself. Granted, him being the president and that sound bite coming out back in February, talking about how he what was those words that he said? Maybe not in verbatim. Not taking it seriously, calling it a hoax, and all types of stuff. And look now, 14 million Americans will lose unemployment aid. That's a lot of people. We're not talking about 1 million people. We're talking about 14 million people. I said there was a lot of nominees that could have been people of the year this year. You know how Time Magazine does people of the year? When it came to, the nurses and doctors who had to deal with this every day, the people who worked in unemployment every day having to deal with this, the essential workers, like they probably went through the most. And I said, I cannot work for unemployment at this point in time. They probably not even hiring. And to be honest, I don't think many people are beating down their door to work for them. And I had called this back earlier this year around the summertime. I said, I bet you right around the winter that this thing is going to get worse. And then something else is going, some more stuff is going to happen that comes from this. And this looks like one of the many shoes that's dropping. A lot of shoes dropped this year. 2020, like I said, has been a very strange year. But I don't know what those people are going to do. I think this is going to be the rise of self-employment for sure. I think a lot of people are taking a second look at self-employment if they haven't done so already, because there are definitely a lot of reputable, legit online opportunities that are out there that are paying people very good money, even more, even more than people who are being paid at a standard 9-to-5 job. But because society has conditioned people to just look for a job instead of looking for more than that, where they can pay themselves even more than what their job will pay them, people get stuck in their ways. And it's like, oh, this is all I have and everything like that. But this is actually ushering in a new age of a new wave of something. When I've talked about briefly on my channel, automation. I know on the BGS Itmore channel, he's talked about automation quite a bit, even before this virus was a thing. It's just that now we can clearly see that what's about to happen. I remember the other day, I had saw a commercial where they had this couple, they were advertising the Alexa and some other device for Amazon. And the wife was saying, Alexa, tell this, whatever the name of that device was, to clean the floor. So now it's gotten to the point where you are telling the Alexa or the voice automated system to command the little robot cleaner to clean up. So now you're telling the robot to tell another robot what to do. It's getting to that point. It's starting to look more and more like iRobot every day. And just imagine, and that's just in the home. Imagine what it's going to look like when it gets into the stores. And some places it's already in the stores. Some places it's even in hotels. So people better really are going to get with the program and start to adjust, or you will get left behind. Like the traditional job is slowly turning or going the way of the dinosaur. When I see that word expire, that could be taken a couple of ways. One where they says the aid will expire. The age of the job is expiring, ushering in automation. And for some to go, if they wanted to go kind of extreme, you can say the age of some of the human beings are expiring. Because you gotta think certain generations are starting to fizzle out and the newer generations are coming in. And they can't do the same things that the older generations did and expect this cycle to keep going. And when I say the cycle, I'm talking about the world. The world is advancing. The world is constantly moving. It cannot hang on and continue to thrive off of old traditional ways. So when people say, oh, this person's going to bring jobs back, or this person's going to bring jobs back, that's a pipe dream. At this point, that is nothing more than a pipe dream. Those jobs are gone and they're not coming back. And should they somehow make a way back, it's going to be something completely different, and it most likely won't be available to the average human being like they once were. But I didn't really mean to go off on a tangent like that, but I just had to get that off my chest. But y'all let me know what y'all think about this down in the comments, and I'll talk to you in the next one.